Hello and welcome back to some more F1 2020 and part 38 of our career mode with Jordan GP in my team. I'm Joe if you're new around here. Make sure you click that subscribe button for weekly F1 2020 content 3 times a week. Really hope you have been enjoying. We're still very much in the championship battle and also 4K content awaits. The new PC is coming in the next week or so, so hopefully the final few rounds of this championship will be in a beautifully crisp 4K 60 frames per second. It's going to be an exciting time for the channel, and I really can't wait to get into that for you guys and produce the best quality videos that are possible at the moment on the PS4 Pro, and getting ready for that PS5 era coming up. But as you can see, it is going to rain in the race this weekend in Singapore. It's going to be a tough one. Yeah, rain in Singapore is never a good thing, and well, we're just going to have to make sure we have an excellent qualifying, otherwise we're going to really struggle, to be honest with you. You can see we are now officially the strongest team on the grid. Mercedes haven't upgraded their car since Hungary, so I'm expecting them to put in a big upgrade at some point between now and the end of the season. We have won the last 3 races, amazingly enough, and haven't finished outside of the top 5 since China earlier in the season, the 4th round of the season. Lewis Hamilton has had a bit of a decline. He hasn't won a race since Canada, and hasn't finished in the top 2 since Austria, so it's, you know, it's coming back into our hands. We're only 29 points behind in the championship now after a wonderful run of form and a good weekend this weekend, and we could be right back into it. So let's see how we do in qualifying. Well, we're coming round the final corner, and as you can see, it started raining, and this was unexpected. Coming up to the line, we go second for now, just behind Alexander Albon in the Red Bull. It was a bit of a scruffy lap, to be honest with you, and I think we can do a hell of a lot better. But yeah, that might be the only representative lap that we get, because the rain is coming down. I don't know how heavy it is and how quickly the track is going to get wet, but well, we've at least managed it for now, and hopefully it's enough to get through to Q2.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Okay, so comfortably through to Q2 then with that time of 1:37.5. Lewis Hamilton only through in 9th, interestingly. Perez only through in 12th. Any shocks? Not that I can really see. So Schumacher, Kvyat, Grosjean, Ocon, Norris and Lance Stroll are the guys to drop out in Q1. Max Verstappen very close to that cutoff. Dried up in this session. It was very wet before, but on the medium tyres we come through, and I believe we've gone through in first place. So that is excellent. We're through to Q3 then. And I reckon there's going to be some shocks here. And there you go, Lewis Hamilton is out in Q2. There you go. Unbelievable. Raikkonen out, Russell out, Magnussen out, Latifi out, and Giovinazzi out. But we are through, and easily through, 1.1 seconds quicker. We went out there right as conditions were at their best, and we've managed to knock out Lewis Hamilton. He's gone out in Q2. Championship very much back on. Who will get pole position? Here we come then. It's not been the best lap in the world, but we throw it around the final corner and it's a 1:35.4, which is the fastest lap at the moment. Sergio Perez currently in second, but Bottas goes quickest, so he goes quicker than us for now. So Bottas is quickest out there, and we are second. Sergio Perez in third with Vettel in fourth. Ricciardo a wonderful fifth for the moment. So we're going to have to come back out and improve on that time. Well, we didn't get round in time. We didn't get round in time. Can you believe it? Well, we've dropped to third as well. Who's on pole? Sergio Perez.
Ourselves of our top three: Perez, Bottas, and the captain. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Well, that is quite unbelievable. Perez has gone 6/10 quicker than us, which means he's gone 8/10 quicker overall than his previous best last lap time, a 1:34.8. Bottas got really close to that, but couldn't quite match it, and we finished third because we couldn't get round in time. Carlos Sainz, an excellent fourth for McLaren. You can see the Red Bulls 9th and 10th, Leclerc, and Vettel will be disappointed with 5th and 8th as well. Ricciardo 6th. What a crazy grid, but Sergio Perez gets pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. Can he win his first race? Or do we push him all of the way? I mean, you know, we've also got our fingers in the pie of the constructors as well, so we really want to try and maximise this result. So maybe with Hamilton out of the points, we let Perez go for it, but boy, it's going to be tough.
Here we go then, it's Formula One in Marina Bay once again, and welcome to all of you at home who join us today for this fascinating race around the baking hot, horribly humid, but very beautiful streets of Singapore. We have a high risk of a safety car here today as the abundance of tight corners mixed with these wet conditions could put a few cars off into the barriers. 23 turns then, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, make up the 3.1 mile lap of Marina Bay. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let's talk about the captain. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have the captain, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Gasly, Vettel, Albon and Max Verstappen, Hamilton, Raikkonen, George Russell and Magnussen, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Lance Stroll and Lando Norris. Grosjean, Kvyat, Schumacher and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
So down on the track, remembering that it's wet conditions. Is it going to be full wets? Is it going to be intermediates? We'll soon find out with our race engineer. I wasn't sure whether the race was going to start on dries and move to wet, so that's why I went for the medium tyre in Q2, but it's not going to matter now. So it's all going to be about how we manage ourselves in these conditions, and it is full wet. It's going to be a full wet race. It's going to be really tough. Let's be honest. You know, we're going to struggle today, and this could well be our first ever DNF. You know, we could go off into the barriers today, and there's not a lot that can be done about it.
Gearbox is responding normally. Make sure to warm up the tyres and brakes. Warm the tyres and brakes throughout the lap.
That wasn't the best getaway off the grid. So, got to remember that it's going to be super tough in these conditions. We usually do come alive in the Jordan in the wet races. So I'm really hoping that we can do exactly the same again today. We are going to go for lean mix from the getaway and hope
Heavy rain to
that will do us some
like
good.
It's moving anytime soon.
We need to get these temperatures slightly up. You don't want them too hot. but you certainly want them hotter than this. Now you want them much colder than you would in normal conditions. So it's all going to be about trying to make sure that everything is as consistent as it can be. Obviously no pit stops today, so that's going to be the other interesting aspect of the race. It's all going to be won out there on track. And there's going to be no strategy element to the Grand Prix. It's going to be won and lost within the confines of the white lines. That was a tricky corner. We are managing to get some heat into these tyres, but not enough to really push it hard. So here we come round the Anderson Bridge and into the final sector of this circuit. And I'm trying to work out whether it's thunder that we can see or whether it's just flashing lights. But here we are reforming the grid now. It's going to be Sergio Perez who's taken his first pole position with Bottas in second. We're starting in third place. And then we have got Sainz and Leclerc. And then Ricciardo with Kvyat. No, I think it's Gasly actually. And then Vettel. The two Red Bulls. Hamilton starting a lowly 11th.
And watch for the lights.
So here we go, ready for this race. It's going to be a pressure one, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you are enjoying. Here we go. What an opportunity this is. Lights out, away we go, and what a start off the grid that is for us. We'd get a little bit of wheel spin on the second phase of the start, and a little bit of a warning for a collision with Bottas. We go a little bit wide there. We're going to hold it round the outside. Can we hold the grip? No, we can't. So Bottas manages to get back through. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I think that was a terrific start off the grid. But now we're going to be under pressure, surely, from Carlos Sainz. But we managed to really get away from him quickly. Maybe he had a little bit of a spin. And there are yellow flags behind, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I don't know if somebody's retired from the race or whether somebody's had an incident, but we're safely in third at the moment. Really hoping that we can improve on that throughout this Grand Prix.
Position on lap 1, that's not great, but it's not terrible. Stay focused.
But it was a fabulous initial getaway from us. It was just that second phase of the start where the tyres need the grip and we didn't get it, and we started sliding all over the place, and it was better to just slow down and back out of it than it was to crash out of the race before we've even reached turn 1. So there's yellow flags. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but it's going to be such a tough race for the AI today and ourselves. This visibility is not good, but an interesting start to this Grand Prix. Well, we've got a possible chance on Bottas here on lap 4, and we go down the inside and we are through.
Don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall.
So back up to second in this Grand Prix, and now chasing after our teammate who's been doing incredibly well so far, Sergio Perez. Well, on to lap 6 of this Grand Prix, still in second position behind our teammate Perez. It's been a good few laps. We are still the holder of the fastest lap. But yeah, it's one of those things if you've got to be right in the gearbox of the car in front if you want to overtake them. Otherwise, it's going to be almost impossible. You know, that's what we were able to do with Bottas, get close enough so that we were able to have a go down the inside. But with Perez, it's all about trying to position our car and trying to get a good exit onto corners. Well, that was by far the best first sector of the race so far. And we are really right behind Sergio Perez now. But obviously, we don't want to take any undue risks. This is a great day for the constructors. If we are able to hold this 1-2, could take some good points off the Mercedes cars. But obviously we also want to win the race and get that extra 7 points in the championship race. It's so tough. So a purple first sector, a green middle sector. What are we going to pull out in this final sector? Can we get another fastest lap? I don't think we're going to manage it. I think that last sector was too slow. But here we come, up to the line. No, not quite. Well, you joined me on lap 11 of this Grand Prix, and you can see how close we are to Sergio up ahead, but we just can't find anywhere to overtake them, and well, hitting the wall there, that's not going to help. And it's probably going to mean we're in the clutches of Bottas now. Well, this is about how close we were to Bottas when we had a go on him, but I just don't think we're close enough or brave enough to have a go with our teammate. Well, Bottas is definitely closed in behind, and with only 3 laps to go, that's a bit of a concern. We go a little bit wide there, which means we're not going to be able to be close to Perez, but Bottas is closing in. He's going to be within a second very, very shortly, you feel.
Use the overtake button and have a go.
Okay, so final 2 laps of this Grand Prix.
We've only got 2 laps.
Huge pressure now, because I'm not sure we're going to be able to catch and pass Perez. And we've got the pressure of knowing if we make a mistake, Bottas is going to be there to pounce. And looking at where Hamilton may well be, I think trying to get as many points as we can on the board seems like a wise decision. But just don't think we can get past Perez. I'm trying everything here. If we are going to make a move, it's got to be now. Look how close we are behind, but I just don't want to risk it. That's the problem. I'm thinking long term. But we are pretty close to Perez now. We're going to go into Rich and try our best to get past him. But no, just not close enough. And Bottas now 1.3 seconds behind. He's certainly checking us out.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
Just got to try and keep hitting every apex like we have been. A little bit wide, nervy corner. Oh, and we've not quite got through there as we wanted. A little snap of oversteer as we go through that section. Bottas now almost within half a second. Perez will breathe a sigh of relief, but he'll be feeling it now because he is favourite for this Grand Prix. He's just got to keep the car on the track. We've just tried so hard to pass him on this lap that we lost a little bit of time pushing too hard into a corner. That can always happen. But Sergio Perez is going to get his maiden Formula 1 victory. He's going to win the Singapore Grand Prix for Jordan GP and lead a 1-2. So here he comes round the final corner. Sergio Perez wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Congratulations to him. And we finish second.
We're really happy with our performance.
What a great race it's been then. Another classic Singapore Grand Prix, and they've held on to take the checkered flag here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack. And having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on the track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula 1. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, there you go then. Perez wins the Grand Prix, 1.3 seconds ahead of us in second. Bottas finishes in third, Sainz finishes fourth, Ricciardo fifth, Leclerc in sixth, Vettel seventh, Gasly eighth, Verstappen ninth and Albon 10th. Lewis Hamilton, though, only finishes 11th. What a disaster for him, because now his lead has been cut to 10 points. Imagine if we'd managed to pass Sergio Perez, we'd only be 3 points behind in the championship after that race. That is going to be a crucial Grand Prix come the end of the season. We've got a great chance to win the championship this year. We've got a great chance to win the Constructors. If we drive like that, 1-2s are how we are gonna overturn this deficit by the end of the season. So if you have enjoyed that, then hit the thumbs up button down below. It really does help out, means a lot to me as well. Subscribe to the channel for weekly F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.